Hi, I'm Sabrina Chua. Welcome to Asia Today. The US and South Korea are closely monitoring developments in North Korea after it announced the death of leader Kim Jong-Il. He was 69.
최상의 높이에서 완벽하게 재현하시고 나라의 군사적 위협을
The announcement was made on North Korean state TV. A newsreader fighting back tears as she told the nation Mr. Kim died of a massive heart attack. He was said to be on a train ride on Saturday when that happened, during one of his field trips outside Pyongyang. An autopsy conducted on Sunday confirmed the cause of death. His funeral is set for December 28th in Pyongyang, and a period of national mourning has been declared. Reports out of North Korea say Mr. Kim's body will lie in state in Kumsusan Palace. That's also where his father's embalmed body is on display. North Koreans will be allowed to visit the body from tomorrow. Mr. Kim's death has also sparked concern over the issue of succession and any policy changes in Pyongyang. State TV called on North Koreans to follow Mr. Kim's son and leader-in-waiting Kim Jong-Un. Reports say South Korea's government is in an emergency response status for any unexpected responses from the north. Well, Channel News Asia's Korea Bureau Chief Im Yoon-suk is standing by with the latest. Yoon-suk, what are you hearing about plans for Kim Jong-il's funeral?
Well, according to North Korean reports, Kim Jong-un will be leading the head of the funeral committee with 202 other delegates, and the funeral is expected to be taking place on December 28th. Now, right now, it's uncertain, who'll be, if any of the foreign dignitaries will be invited to the funeral. Sabrina?
Oh, well, what about South Korea? How is it reacting to the news of the death, and what are the key concerns?
Well, right now, South Korea is in a state of shock, and it has shocked all South Koreans here. South Korea still remains technically at war with North Korea, and that means that there's always this possibility of a war breaking out here in the Korean Peninsula. And you have many Koreans here who still remember what it was like after the 3-year Korean War in 1953. And so there are rising concerns, and Koreans are worried that North Korea may take some kind of provocative actions. And also there are worries about a possible riot or chaos inside North Korea, with reports of famine and people being unhappy inside, and also the possibility of a power struggle. Now, when the founder Kim Il-sung died in 1994, there were less concerns here in Korea because North Korea had already prepared his son Kim Jong-il to take over after his father. But this time it's a different story. Although we knew that Kim Jong-il was preparing his son to take over, he was not really fully prepared for this. And that's why South Koreans here are very worried about the future of North Korea.
And are you hearing anything about the succession plans in North Korea itself?
Well, we know that the youngest son, Kim Jong-un, was being prepared, but right now we don't really know much about the son, Kim Jong-un. According to North Korean broadcast today, North Korea has already started to call him the next great successor. And so analysts here are saying it's very likely that the succession plans will go ahead as scheduled, although there are some analysts here who are not ruling out the possibility of a power struggle within the North Korean government.
All right, thanks, Yoon-suk, for that update. That was Im Yoon-suk reporting live out of Seoul. Now, our China correspondent Valerie Tan tells us how Beijing is reacting to the news of the death.
Within minutes, the news broke. It's the top trending topic on Weibo, China's version of Twitter. It goes to show the significance of his death here in Beijing, but no official word from the central government here in Beijing. We only remember that, Kim Jong-il visited Beijing in May this year. It was his third time visiting China in a year, and as we all know, China is North Korea's biggest ally. His visit here back in May was an invitation from Beijing to understand the development of China, but there was also speculation here that Kim's visit to China then was to secure succession for his son, Kim Jong-un, with North Korea's biggest ally, China. And there were also unconfirmed reports that said that Kim Jong-il's son also made his very first diplomatic visit to China during that same period.
Well, the Japanese government has offered its condolences on the death of Kim Jong-il. A government spokesman says Japan, quote, hopes that Mr. Kim's death won't have an adverse impact on the peace and stability of the Korean peninsula. Prime Minister Yoshihiko Noda has set up a crisis management team. He's instructed his cabinet to be ready for any unexpected developments, including financial or border issues. The defense minister says the military is on the alert. Tokyo is also closely watching whether the Kim Jong-un's succession in power will be made peacefully. Japan has been among the countries most worried about North Korea's military ambitions and nuclear weapons tests. It has no diplomatic relations with North Korea.
本当そろそろみたいな話はあったんで、びっくりもしたんですけど、そういうことなのかっていう感じで、でもこれからその北朝鮮が変わっていくのかなと思うと、いろいろ問題も解決して日本とももっとうまくいけばいいなと思います。